Little NFL talk here with the Chiefs taking on the Cowboys in Dallas. I'm Scott Spreitzer. He's Dave Koch, and Matt Holt from CGT Sportsbooks in Las Vegas is also with us. Cowboys opened a 2-point favorite at CGT. Of course, the Zeke Elliott suspension situation comes to the forefront early in the week. And at CGT as we speak, Kansas City Chiefs now a 1-point favorite. Matt, before the season began, we thought the Zeke Elliott suspension was going to take place early portion of the season. You had told us that he was worth half a point to the Vegas spread. Is it still half a point, or has it changed after what we've seen this year?
It's crazy this week. This line has to do with more than Zeke Elliott because of the suspension, not suspended, suspended, not suspended. We've had a few examples of what is Zeke Elliott worth to the line every time he gets suspended, because this is what, the third or fourth time now. Sure. And every other time it's been a half a point or no adjustment in some cases.
Not this week.
Not this week. All of a sudden we are at least a 2-point move here off of the Zeke Elliott suspension. And is it the Zeke Elliott suspension? Is it the Dallas secondary? Is it,
is it the off?
That's right. Is it a lot of different factors? Is it everyone thinks Kansas City's back off the Monday night performance against Denver? I can't say that it's just Zeke, because we saw Zeke 3 times already and it never moved more than a half a point. This week we moved 2. I have to feel like there's some ancillary factors there.
Dave, I mean, you watch the Monday night game. If Denver has a quarterback who can, throw it to the orange jerseys rather than to the Kansas City jerseys, they might win that football game. A great shot to win that football game.
So bad. They're using Osweiler this weekend. If that doesn't tell you how bad Trevor Siemian's been, look, I think the adjustment's wrong here. The Chiefs, through the first 4 weeks, were playing the best football in the NFL. I mean, it was a legitimate 4-0. They were dominating their games. They haven't played anywhere close to that level recently, and I wasn't impressed by them on Monday. I mean, they get the big turnover early, and that kind of set the tone for the game. And they, I don't want to knock them because they're doing what they need to do to win, but I don't think they're playing at the same level they were earlier.
No.
The Cowboys have put together 2 really good games. They're starting to move along. And if anything, assuming the Elliott thing holds up, I mean, I can't chisel that in stone because it keeps on changing, but it looks like he's out, and he's out of appeals. So I think you're going to have a Dallas team at this point is saying to themselves, look, we can go out there and win without Zeke Elliott. Right. I mean, they're going to be pumped up for this game.
Everybody's going to pick up the slack for this week.
I just don't get Dallas being a home dog.
Well, not only that, but look at this KC defense. I mean, come on, it stinks. And I think if you're going to run the football without Zeke Elliott, this is the defense to do it against. I really do believe that they pick up the slack. Everybody's, coming together, galvanizing over Zeke Elliott being out. And Kansas City, I mean, Pittsburgh laid the blueprint for this team.
See, I haven't talked to enough odds makers yet, and I usually talk more to the guys I know about college than the NFL. But I'll talk to you in this case. Is this just a public overreaction to Elliott? Because, it is at least a 2-point adjustment, and that's absurd for a running back.
I think it is a public overreaction, and I think one of the things that has started to take fruition this season is coming into this year, running backs had their least value maybe they had at any point in the history of the NFL maybe. You could literally say that. That running backs, the #1 rusher in the league last year was worth a half a point or less to the line. But I think going into last week's, teams that had run the ball successfully more than 30 times in a game were 75-8 on the season. It is a disgustingly positive stat. Running the football successfully has translated to wins on the football field this year.
I can't believe how happy I am about this.
It's old school. It's old school.
I've always been a believer in the John Robinson philosophy. You win the line of scrimmage, you win the running game, you win the game. Yep. And this goes back. You can go back 40 years on this.
And 90% of our viewing audience just said, who's John Robinson?
Well, John Robinson, long-time USC coach, and also coached the Rams and got them to a Super Bowl.
Right.
Okay. I think John got him to the Super Bowl. Well, I don't remember. But J. Rob,
Ray Malavasi.
Great guy. That was Malavasi. You're right. That should have been John Robinson.
I'm old too.
And John coached at UNLV and actually got them to a bowl game and won. He won a bowl game at UNLV, that's pretty amazing. Okay. But that's an old coach's philosophy. But the thing was, it never changed on the stats. Even in all this spread offense, throw the ball all over the place, if you look at the stats in college football, and it's not as dramatic in the NFL, but it's fairly close. I'm not talking from a spread standpoint. I'm just talking from an outright result category. Teams that outrush their opponents by a 2-1 margin or more, they win the game almost 90% of the time. That's 4 decades worth of data. It's like the bunt in baseball. I don't care how many times you use it, it's still a bad idea, and the numbers bear it out. And so you can argue all you want that this works better. No, it doesn't, okay? I got proof. You don't. This is another thing that's not an opinion. It's proof. It's data. It's not fake news, all right? Teams that run the ball successfully and run it at a margin of 2-1 better than their opponent win the games. And it works that way in the NFL as well. This may very well come down to that, because maybe the Chiefs do outrush the Cowboys 2-1 in this game with the Elliott thing, and that skews everything. But I still like Dallas in this game.
Okay, well, you just made it real quick, so I was going to say in 30 seconds or half a minute, your choice.
I didn't make it real quick, but it's
bet
Dallas.
On this particular. It's Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys, Dave's best bet. For what it's worth, Casey's only covered 5 of the last 17 on a Sunday after playing on a Monday night. Those go back a lot of years. It's just fun to throw out there a little bit. I'm with you on Dallas on this particular game also. Don't forget, you can save $10 with coupon code ENDZONE10 at WagerTalk.com this week. Again, save $10 on any daily package. All you got to do is use the coupon code ENDZONE10. UFC 217. You're going to want to check Matt Holt's picks on that one. Stick around for that. We are WagerTalk TV.